ito ang 106.3 Dance Radio. Dance Radio.
Prepare yourself.
Ang silid-aralan sa radyo, hatid namin ay makabagong paraan ng pagtuturo at kalaman. Mapaumaga, tanghali o hapon man yan. Ang istasyong magbibigay impormasyon kahit sa naman.
For something big.
Alright, here we go.
106.3 Dance Radio. Doña Aurora National High School, Santa Rita, Aurora, Isabela.
This
106.3 DWBR-FM. TLE, Technology and Livelihood Education. TLE, Learning Area, Automotive Servicing, Beauty Care, Electronics Product Assembly and Servicing, Cookery, Electrical Installation and Maintenance, Dressmaking, Computer System Servicing, mga leksyong pangkabuhayan, edukasyong teknolohikal, mapapakinggan. Dito lang yan sa 106.3 Dance Radio. TLE, Learn and Earn.
Okay, good afternoon po sa ating lahat. Good afternoon po. It's TLE time, Ma'am Ryan. But before we start, I would like to greet Sir Rodrigo Pascua, our principal, and of course, our Ma'am Ruby R. Guillermo, our assistant principal, and to all our teaching and non-teaching staff, good afternoon po sa ating lahat.
Siyempre, dapat din po nating batiin ang mga naggugwapuhang kasama natin ngayon. Hi to Sir Dennis and to Sir Mark. Ayan, lagi silang nandirito para gabayan ng mga dance teachers.
Okay, and also, good afternoon to all the technical specialists, Sir MJ and Ma'am Joy Madamba. They are the technical specialists behind the RBI that we are going to air.
Of course, sa lahat din ma'am ng mga naka-work from home na mga kasama natin, especially sa TLE, si Ma'am Maylene, si Ma'am
Marilyn,
Ma'am Dandit, Sir
Edwin,
Sir MJ.
Sir MJ. Okay.
Saka si Ma'am Malbe, of course.
Yes. So, ano bang pag-uusapan natin ngayon, Ma'am Ryan?
Siyempre, of course, it's all about computers again.
Yes.
And by the way, sa mga hindi pa nakakakilala sa amin, I am Teacher Ryan. I am Mrs. Ryan Bakud, your CSS 9 and CSS 10 teacher. And of course, Ma'am Cathy.
Ma'am Catherine Galingana, your teacher in ICT grade 9 and 10. So, good afternoon to all the science classes. I hope you are all watching.
Yan. Hello din sa lahat ng 10th Tindalo students. Pati sa 8 Maroon, hawak ko rin kasi ang 8 Maroon, ma'am. May grade 8 ako today. Okay. So, let's start with the quotation, ma'am. Merong tayong quotation na babasahin and I do hope na lahat po ay makikinig at nanonood ngayon.
Yes. Ano yung quotation na yun, Ma'am Ryan?
It's hardware that makes a machine fast. It's software that makes a fast machine slow. Anong masasabi mo sa quotation natin today, Ma'am Cathy?
100% true yan, Ma'am Ryan. If you know the hardware specification of your computer, then you will understand its capabilities and if it can handle softwares that you plan to use. Siyempre, mahalaga yung hardware. Hindi laging software lang ang kukonsider natin, di ba? It is very much related to our topic for today, to help our learners realize how the hardware affects the speed and the performance of computers and how software that we installed in our computers will slow down our computer.
Yes, Ma'am Cathy, I agree with you. Learning more about the different types of computers will help us understand the different capabilities of different computers. Kasi different computer differs from another computer. Kaya kung minsan nagtataka ng ating mga estudyante, bakit yung computer ko mas bago pero hindi nag-o-open ang ganitong software? So, dito po matatakan natin yung mga different reasons why.
Yes, kasi we are going to discuss also the different tips on before buying a computer, di ba, ma'am? What are the things that we are going to consider? So, mati-discuss natin yan later. Di ba, Ma'am Ryan?
Yes. We are going to discuss the different factors in buying computers or if you are planning to build your own computers. And since we are currently in economic crisis because of COVID-19 pandemic, let's all guide our dear learners and other viewers who plans to buy a computer system. Especially sa mga parents natin na kung minsan may mga parents din na nakikinig dyan para nagagabayan nilang kanilang mga anak. So it's time for you to listen po. If in case you are planning to buy your daughter or your son a laptop or a cell phone, so makinig lang po ngayon, lalo especially ngayon, Yuletide season na Ma'am Cathy, may regalo ka na ba sa mga babies mo?
Sa akin kasi babies pa lang, so wala pa ako sa laptop.
Ako medyo
Medyo
nag-iisip-isip.
Oo.
Magpakabait sana si Cesar Ian at saka si Ryan Nia Faye para mas maganda ang regalo nilang matanggap.
Okay, gagabayan din tayo ng ating Bible verse for today, which is Matthew chapter 7, verse 24 to 25. Therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice is like a wise man who built his house on the rock. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against that house. Yet it did not fall because it had its foundation on the rock. Literally, if you build a house, make sure of its foundation. Spiritually speaking, increase your faith by building relationship with God.
Amen, Ma'am Cathy. And likewise, if you are to invest on computer, make sure na yung foundation mo, which is the hardware,
and the software.
Magiging okay po siya against the fast change in software and hardware upgrades para sulit na sulit at walang hinayang kapag nandyan na yung computer. So, let's present our objectives for the day, Ma'am Cathy.
Okay, our objectives for today is we are going to identify the different types of computers. So, malalaman natin marami palang klase ng computers. And of course, we are going to determine the factors to consider when planning and designing home-built computers. So, students, you listen for the RBI lesson, and later on, we are going to discuss it one by one when we come back during our live discussion.
Okay, so makinig na muna tayo, dear listeners
Sa ating
and
RBI.
viewers, sa ating RBI.
Okay, get ready, students.
and based on configuration. Do you have any idea what are the types of computer based on principles of operation?
Yes, ma'am. It's analog, digital, and hybrid computers.
Very good! An analog computer is a computing device that works on continuous range values. It generally deals with physical variables such as pressure, temperature, speed, and voltages. Can you cite an example of computer that deals with physical variables?
Yes, ma'am. Thermometer. It measures the length of a mercury column continuously.
Correct!
Other example includes oil pressure gauge, multimeters, and traditional clocks. On the other hand, digital computer operates on digital data such as numbers. It uses binary number system and can perform arithmetic operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and some logical operations. Can you cite examples of digital computers?
Yes, ma'am. Accounting machines and calculators.
Very good! How about hybrid computers? Do you have any idea what it is?
Basing from the word hybrid, ma'am, it combines the desirable features of analog and digital computers.
Awesome! Hybrid computer is mostly used for automatic operations of complicated physical process and machines. Examples of these are devices used in checking patients' temperature, blood pressure, and other vital signs. We will identify the types of computers based on configuration after this short reminder.
Amazing tips sa pag-aaral ngayong new normal.
Una, matulog sa tamang oras. Siguraduhin mula 7 hanggang 8 oras ang iyong pagtulog.
Sapat na iyan upang gumana ng maayos ang utak upang makapag-isip. Siguradong good day ka, kaibigan.
Ikalawa, magtala o gumawa ng sariling schedule. Mahalaga ang time management, kaibigan.
Itala ang mga subject na kinakailangan mong pag-aralan sa buong araw. Maglaan ng oras para sa mga ito.
Ikatlo, pumili ng lugar sa iyong pag-aaral. Focus!
Kailangan mo yan. Kaya nararapat na komportable
At tahimik na lugar ang iyong kalalagyan.
Huwag ring kalilimutang ipahinga ang utak.
Find time to relax upang handa ka muling mag-aral kinabukasan.
At iyan ang ating amazing tips, kaibigan.
Kahit new normal, tuloy pa rin ang pag-aaral.
Isang paalala mula sa TLE Learning Area at ng himpilang ito.
Kayo nakikinig sa TLE Grade 10 kasama si Teacher Catherine S. Kalinganan.
I'm back! Let us continue. Computers differ according to size and power. Computers can be supercomputers, mainframes, mini-computers, and microcomputers. Do you have an idea which among these are the most powerful? Why do you think so?
Ma'am, supercomputer. It is also the most expensive because it is custom-made for the needs of governments and international groups and companies.
Correct!
Supercomputers are used for very special purpose and engineering applications, including analyzing data from space probes, researching nuclear energy, creating weather maps and weather forecasting, and finding oil. Examples of this are the Great Anton and Great XT5. What agencies use supercomputer?
Ma'am, government agencies like NASA and PHIVOX.
That's right! Another type is a mainframe computer. It is a large computer that can process data at a very high rate of speed. It is mainly used by big businesses and companies to process and compute large bulk amounts of data and handle millions of transactions. Examples of these computers are used in bank transactions, census and consumer statistics, airline ticketing, and large management and payroll. Another type, based on configuration, is mini-computer, server, and microcomputer. Mini-computer is another type of multi-use machine that is smaller, less expensive, and less powerful than mainframe. This is used in mid-range businesses and companies for their processing needs. A server provides services to another computer program and its user, also known as the client. It is powerful than normal computers. Server hardware also differs from desktop hardware in terms of its form factor. How about microcomputer? Do you have any idea what a microcomputer is?
Microcomputer is the most popular kind of computers, ma'am. These are common types of computers that we personally have or seen at home, in schools, and other places, ma'am.
Wow! You are already familiar with microcomputer.
These include desktop computers,
Laptop, notebook computers, tablet computers, smartphones, PDA computers, game consoles, modern televisions or smart televisions, and wearable computers. We will learn more about this during our live discussion. Have you ever wondered why certain computer users differ in having their computer hardware and software?
Yes, ma'am. I am curious why some people are satisfied with the performance of their computers while some are not.
It is because there are many factors to be considered when designing a home-built computer or a customized one. Understanding these factors will help us ensure that the OHS policies are followed in accordance with system requirements. We have 7 factors to consider. What are the first 3?
Ma'am, cost, intended use, and operating system.
You are correct, dear. The first step in planning your new PC is to set a budget. Decide how much you can afford to spend on the entire project. What do you plan on doing with the machine? And of course, how much processing power do you need to identify the operating system that you would like to install in your computer?
Ma'am, does the operating system and my intention of using the computer affect the cost?
That is very good question, and the answer is yes. The more complicated things you work on your computer will need more powerful hardware and software, including the operating system and other applications. The more powerful your computer becomes, the more costly it gets.
what are the other factors to consider when designing a home-built computer?
Ma'am, reputation, lifespan, compatibility, and personal preference.
Very good! What can you do to determine the reputation of a certain hardware, software, or the computer system as a whole?
Ma'am, it is good to check the reviews, news groups, and message boards to see what others think of the components you are considering.
Very good! It is very important to know the feedback about the product you are purchasing, whether it is hardware or a software. You also have to consider the lifespan or how long you want the computer to last. Always remember that we are on an era where hardware and software upgrades in a speed. If you can afford it, selecting the most current components available may enable your computer with an extra year or so of life.
Ma'am, is it okay if we follow our personal preferences when it comes to computer?
Yes, of course. Some people would disagree with others' opinions, and that's fine. But when you build a machine for your own use, you tend to choose the hardware from companies that you like. You also need to check the compatibility of some components of your hardware. You can do so by checking the news groups and message boards to see if anyone's had problems with the particular combinations you have selected. I'm pretty sure that you are now ready for our activities. We will answer the activities after the short break.
Naku! Malapit na ang pasahan ng outputs!
Retrieval time na naman. Narito ang mga dapat mong tandaan sa pagpasa ng outputs mo, Kadonyan.
Tiyaking nakasulat ang iyong pangalan sa bawat subject na iyong ipapasa.
Oops, huwag ding kalimutang isulat ang iyong seksyon kung saan ka kabilang.
Mahalagang lagyan din ng label na Week 1,
Week 2, 3 o 4 ang iyong outputs kung anong aralin
at bilang nito upang malaman ng guro kung kumpleto ang iyong ipinasang outputs sa bawat linggo. Kadonyan!
Kung maaari, isulat din ang pangalan ng iyong guro sa bawat subject.
Kung may color coding, sundin ito upang madaling malaman ng iyong advisor at maibigay sa tamang guro.
Paghiwalayin ang mga sagutang papel sa bawat subject.
Huwag paghaluin ang iyong mga sagot sa dalawang subject sa iisang papel.
Kung masusunod mo ang mga ito, tiyak ang mga guro ay hindi malilito.
Sa pagpasa ng mga outputs, tiyaking maayos at organisado.
Ayusin ang output batay sa mga sumusunod na bawat aralin.
Una, sagot ng mga gawain. Pangalawa, refleksyon.
Pangatlo, lingguhang pagtataya.
At pang-apat, summative test kung mayroon.
Isang paalala mula sa pamunuan ng Tonya Aurora National High School at ng istasyong ito. Kayo nakikinig sa TLE Grade 10 kasama si Teacher Catherine S. Kalingaran.
I'm back! Open your learning activity sheets on page 5, activity 1, titled Fill Me In. Directions: give the classification of the following machine as to their size or power and operation. The first one is given as an example. PS4 is classified as microcomputer. Let's try number 2. The machine is Smart TV. What is your answer?
Ma'am, my answer is microcomputer.
Very good! You may answer the rest of the activity 1 after this broadcast. Now, for activity number 2, titled Multiple Choice. Direction: read the questions carefully and write the letter of the correct answers on a separate sheet of paper. What is asked in item number 1? This computer is used by touching your finger. A. Desktop. B. Laptop. C. Mainframe. D. Tablet.
Ma'am, the answer is letter D, tablet.
Correct!
What is the answer to the question in item number 2? Which of the following is the most expensive? A. Desktop. B. Laptop. C. Tablet. D. Supercomputer.
Ma'am, the answer is letter D, supercomputer.
You are correct! You may answer the rest of the activity after this broadcast. Let's summarize our lesson for today. What are the different types of computers?
Ma'am, the three types of computers based on principle of operation are analog, digital, and hybrid. Based on configuration, we have the supercomputer, mainframe computer, mini computer, server, and microcomputer.
You are correct! How about the different factors to consider when planning and preparing for computer assembly?
Ma'am, we are to consider cost, intended use, operating system, reputation, lifespan, personal preferences, and compatibility.
Very good! Now let's evaluate what you have learned today. My dear learners, what is the fastest and most expensive computers in the world?
Supercomputer, ma'am.
Correct! How about the most popular kind of computer system?
Ma'am, microcomputers. Examples of these are desktop computers, laptop or notebook computers, smartphones, PDA computers, game consoles, modern television, and wearable computers.
Great! Why is it important to consider the cost, intended use, operating system, reputation, lifespan, personal preferences, and compatibility when planning and designing a personal computer?
Ma'am, to avoid the waste of effort, time, and money, planning and designing a personal computer must consider these factors to be satisfied in your computer's performance.
Wow! You really listened well. We will have more after this short break.
Mga kaibigan, sa panahon ngayon, kailangang magpalakas ng katawan.
Kumain ng masustansyang pagkain at sabayan ng pag-eehersisyo.
Huwag ding kalimutan ang pag-inom ng vitamins. Resistensya ay palakasin. Kalusugay huwag pabayaan upang sakit ay maiwasan.
Isang paalala mula sa himpilang ito.
Kayo nakikinig sa TLE Grade 10. Kasama si Teacher Catherine S. Kalinganin.
I'm back! For your last task, open your learning activity sheets on page 8. Answer reflection by answering the questions. Why do you need to know the types of computer? Why do you need to consider the factors that we have discussed before buying a computer? Do not forget to answer the weekly validating questions. Write your answers on a separate sheet of paper. Is the instruction clear?
Yes, ma'am!
You may accomplish the task after this broadcast or during your most convenient time. Now, we're almost done. I hope you have learned a lot from our discussions. Do not forget to ask your subject teachers through their mobile phones or Messenger if you have questions. I would like to acknowledge the teachers behind this RBI lesson. Teacher Ryan Neri P. Bakut, our script writer, Ma'am Susana Dumon, the language editor, Sir Jefferson F. Aguinaldo, the content editor, and our technical specialist, Joy Madamba. I'm Teacher Catherine Galingana, your radio teacher for this hour. Thank you very much and stay tuned for our live discussion.
TLE Technology and Livelihood Education.
TLE Learning Area.
TLE Learning Area. Automotive Servicing. Beauty Care.
Electronic Products Assembly and Servicing.
Cookery.
Electrical Installation and Maintenance.
Dressmaking.
Computer System Servicing.
Mga leksyong pangkabuhayan. Edukasyong teknolohikal.
Matutunghayan dito sa
106.3
Dance Radio. TLE Learning Area.
Technology and Livelihood Education.
Learn and earn.
Dance Radio, siniparalan sa radyo, atid namin makabago, paraan ang pagtuturo.
Wala nang makakapigil pa. Sulong Arangkada 106.3 Dance Radio sa Aurora, Isabela.
Edukasyo'y susulong, basta na magtulong-tulong, sulong edukalidad. Dance Radio, learning is amazing.
Okay, so we are back, dear listeners and viewers. The lesson is all about assembling computer hardware.
Yes, Ma'am Ryan. So today we are going to learn about the different types of computer and the different factors when you plan to have your own computer system. So medyo very informative ito, Ma'am Ryan. This is not only for our students that are interested, but this is also a big help for the parents who wants to listen, who wants to get some tips on things that they have to consider in buying the laptops of their kids. Diba, Ma'am Ryan? So, pwede ito sa mga parents.
Yes, and our first topic is all about the different types of computers. Okay, pasensya na. Okay, meron tayong konting technical difficulties. Buti na lang nandito si Sir Mark Pogi na lagi nag-assist sa amin. Yes, and our first topic is all about the different types of computer. And before we discuss specifically, some may wonder that the lesson is a repetition of previous RBI. So, hindi po ito repetition. So, we are just going to remind everybody that it is not a repetition but a continuation, a deeper learning and a deeper understanding about computers.
Yes, kasi Ma'am Ryan, meron tayong ICT 7 na didiscuss ito. Meron din sa ICT 8. Meron din tayong science class, SPJ, TLE, ICT, and also for the BEC. And nadidiscuss na ito, di ba Ma'am Ryan? Nai-intro na siya. So this time, we are going to discuss it sa mas malalim o mas marami pang info na idadagdag natin. For this time, let us refer to the PowerPoint presentation.
Okay. So, let's see if our dear learners and viewers are still out there. So, check nga natin kung kasalukuyan ay ilan sila. So, we have 800 plus comments, pero ang ating viewers ay
59 sa akin,
down
Ma'am
to 59.
Ryan.
Kaninang nag-umpisa kami, umabot pa po kami ng 65. I do hope babalik na yung mga iba dyan.
Yes. Maybe some, Ma'am Ryan, they are already listening in their radio.
Yes.
Yes,
And dahil dyan, Ma'am Cathy, kahit na hindi sila nanonood ng live, kung nakikinig sila sa radio, pwede pa rin po silang mag-participate. Magtatanong po kasi kami, and syempre sasagot ang ating mga viewers at ating mga listeners. Alam naman nilang super love na love natin sila, and because of that, we will give rewards na makakatulong sa kanila to get online. Napapansin kasi namin, if we give you gifts, like loads, mas dumarami ang nagiging mas interesado sa kanilang mga lesson. So sa mga nakikinig sa ating Radio 106.3 Dance FM, you can text your answer to CP number 0975-456-5436. Sa ating mga viewers, they have to comment their answers on the comment box.
Okay, so kaya mga dear listeners and viewers, tutok na sa 106.3 Dance Radio, Usapang TLE, and the first question is, can we give the first question, Ma'am Ryan?
Yes, Ma'am Cathy.
Yes, what is the first question? Okay, mag-aabang ako sa ating comment box. At ito ang unang question. What is computer? Ulitin ko, what is computer? The first commentator will have 20 pesos load, and also the first texter, also the first texter. So yung first comment and na magko-comment ng tama and the texter will get 20 pesos load. Just comment your answer with the hashtag CSS, then your answer on the comment box. And for those texters, paki-text ang inyong sagot sa 0975-456-5436.
Ayan, meron na agad si Sai de la Cruz. Aba, si Sai.
Okay,
sa
anak ko yan.
commentator, si Sai, sabi niya, it is an electronic device that manipulates information or data. So, Miss Sai, dahil ikaw ang kauna-unahang sumagot, automatically you have to contact your TLE teacher, give her your phone number, and we will give you 20 pesos load. So, ibig sabihin, mag-aantay na lang din kami ng texter. So, we have 2 winners, one for the commentator and one for the texter. Maybe some of you were thinking, bakit ganun yung tanong, paulit-ulit? Pero bakit nga ba, Ma'am Cathy?
Kasi meron tayong subject from the first grade 7 up to grade 10. Meron kasi tayo niyan, 'di ba? Meron tayong subject. So, tsaka hindi mawawala ang computer sa atin kasi computers everywhere. And we are going to discuss it later. 'Di ba, Ma'am Ryan?
Yes, Ma'am Cathy.
Okay. Ma'am Ryan, some are misled into thinking na only desktop and laptops or cell phones lang ang tinatawag na computer. We are going to enlighten them that once a machine accepts something to be processed, and it processes something and produces an output, it is considered a computer. So kasama po dyan sa tinatawag nating mga computers yung ilang appliances natin sa bahay na tumatanggap ng instruction and do something for you. Some machines that you see in the community are already computers like digital oxygen meter, air conditioners, photocopying machines, yung tinatawag nating Xerox, Riso, mga ganyan. Microwave ovens, and a lot more. Marami tayo sa bahay. Di ba, ma'am? Okay. So, hindi lang yung laptop nyo dyan sa bahay, hindi lang yung desktop ang masasabi mong computer, kundi anything that accept instruction and produces outputs. Di ba, Ma'am Ryan?
Yes, Ma'am Cathy. And, mag-trivia nga naman tayo. Alam nyo ba, mga anak, napapamodern ng ating mga technology ngayon? Okay, so magbibigay ako ng bagong update sa ating technology na panigurado hindi lang kayong mga estudyante, mga bata, mga teenagers ang magugulat. Kasi even mga teachers na kagaya ko ay hindi pa alam ang mga ito. So mamaya i-classify natin siya, i-identify natin siya kung anong klase siya ng computer. So alam mo ba, Ma'am Cathy, na even yung tinatawag nating pregnancy test ngayon ay naka-USB type na.
Naku, paano kaya yun?
Ikaw, Ma'am Cathy, you are already a mother of 2. Paano mo tinest na buntis ka?
Siyempre yung PT lang din, yung ihi lang. May patak lang siya, 3 patak, I think.
Pero sinaksak ba yun sa computer, Ma'am Cathy?
Hindi. Siyempre automatic yun. Lalagay mo lang doon, then automatic.
Tapos magre-read ka na kung mababasa mo na kung positive o negative.
Yes.
Alam nyo ba na ngayon meron ng tinatawag na PTEC pregnancy test. So, the same procedure, lalagyan lang din siya ng urine, and then yung standard kit or yung PTEC kit, isasalpak siya sa computer. And then automatically, the computer will read the hormone content of your urine. Okay,
So
analysis will be made by the software that automatically installs and reads the hormonal content of the urine.
So, siguro hindi lang yung positive and negative ang madidetect doon.
Yes,
because it is
ma'am.
already, yes. Kasi, kumbaga kung sa manual, kung buntis ka lang, kung buntis ka or hindi, siguro with this PTEC, hindi na lang siya...
Hormonal content, ma'am.
Okay.
Hindi lang siya actually para malaman kung buntis or hindi. So, malalaman din doon kung anong mas lamang sa'yo, female hormone ba, male hormone.
Oh, okay. So talagang everything upgrades. Really, Ma'am Ryan, it is quite costly for a pregnancy test. Ano naman meron dyan sa PTEC? Yung sabi mo nga na nag-check siya ng hormones. Aside from, it shows if it is negative or positive, di ba? Okay. So, what's next, Ma'am Ryan?
Yun kasing PTEC na yun, it's quite costly, no? It is around 100
Ayun sa iyong...
around $179. So, since that is computed in dollars, magkano ba ang isang dollar sa peso, ma'am? Para
US?
malaman, yes, para malaman natin ang actual value niya in peso. So, that is $179.99. Medyo mahal siya, no?
Oo, mahal
So,
siya.
ngayon, I think it's around 50 pesos. $1 is equivalent to 50 pesos. And then, if we are going to compute for that, we're just going to multiply 179.99 times 50. So, it's around
8,000?
179.99.
Okay. Medyo mahal pala siya.
Okay.
Doon na lang ako sa manual, Ma'am Ryan.
Okay, so it's around 8,999 pesos. So, talagang medyo mahal siya.
Oo, costly nga siya.
Pero
Okay.
sabi nga nila, kasi syempre doon, makikita mo talaga, you capture the moment. Talagang maisisave mo naman yung mga different data
Yung makikita doon.
Yes.
Okay. Related to pregnancy. Okay. So, for today, ano naman ang makikita natin sa inyong slide presentation, Ma'am Ryan?
Okay, so today we are going to discuss the different types of computer. Actually, the types of computers are classified into 4 broadly categories. We have on the basis of generation, on the basis of size, on the basis of data processed, and on the basis of purpose. Pero, we are just going to focus on 2. So, we are going to focus on the basis of data process and on the basis of size and power. Ayan.
Okay.
So, ayan po. So, we're going to talk about analog, digital, hybrid, and supercomputers, mainframe, mini computers, and microcomputers. So, let's start, Ma'am, Cathy, with the types of computer based on...
We have the types of computers based on principles of operation. Meron tayong tinatawag na analog, digital, and hybrid. Okay. Ano naman kaya ang analog? Ayan.
Okay, so we have analog computer is a computing device that works on continuous range values. Okay, so now these analog computers will only be approximate. So, hindi magiging exact ang talagang kanyang calculations. Because it deals with quantities that vary continuously. So, it generally deals with physical variables such as pressure, temperature, speeds, and voltages. So, ibig sabihin, yung nire-read niyang data is also changing from time to time. So, basing from the picture, we have here a thermometer and sphygmomanometer. Okay, so this is, itong una, it is a mercury type. thermometer. So every time the temperature in the room changes, so tataas po yung red na nakikita nyo dyan. The same with this sphygmomanometer. Sphygmomanometer. Okay. And this one here is used for checking the blood pressure. So etong dalawa na ito ang best example ng analog computer. It's because there has been recent developments of this type of computer na common na sa inyo, mga dear listeners and viewers. Next, we also have digital computer. Okay, with these digital computers, it operates on digital data such as numbers, which uses binary number system, which contains 0 and 1. And this binary system is called a bit. It can perform arithmetic operation like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and also logical operation. So kung titingnan natin sa ating picture, dito sa ating right side, yan yung tinatawag natin na seismometer.
Anong gamit ng seismometer, Ma'am Ryan?
Okay, seismometer is an instrument that responds to ground noises and shaking such as caused by earthquakes,
That is for the
volcanic
earthquake.
eruptions, and explosions.
Kaya pala nilalaman nila how an intensity.
Yes.
Okay.
Yan yung level ng shaking, may ire-record. Tapos dito na naman sa kabila is a typical calculator. So ito yung, ewan ko kung familiar pa ba yung mga bata sa ganitong klase ng calculator?
Because what is existing now, hindi naman existing. Kumbaga, what they have now is the scientific calculator.
Okay, scientific calculator is actually it actually belongs to another category of computer.
Okay.
So minsan kasi ang alam ng mga bata computer daw yun. Hindi nila alam yung
It is
imagine
considered,
calculator. Simple calculator is already a computer. Okay. Meron din tayong isa dito. We have this another type of sphygmomanometer. Okay? Okay, itong nasa ibaba.
Pangkuha ng blood pressure.
So, digital naman siya. Yung kanina kasi, ma'am,
yung ginaganon.
mercury. Yes,
Pinapump, di ba?
Pinapump yung nauna kanina, yung analog, pinapump. So, eto naman, ikinakabit lang siya sa braso.
Pareho lang silang kinakabit. But this one, you don't need to pump.
Automatically, i-read
Meron
na
lang
niya.
siyang yata na start, tapos maglalabas na kung ano yung BP mo.
Yung
tama?
pulse rate at saka yung high blood pressure niya, malalaman na dyan. And because of that, I have also posted there, www.heart.org. You can visit the site if you want to learn more about high blood pressure kasi ma'am, sa panahon ngayon, ang daming nagkakasakit.
Yes.
And another thing, pagka ganyan, dapat talaga, mga bata pa lang aware na sila na, dapat pala mag-ingat tayo sa ganito, sa ganyan. So, that is all about understanding blood
So, you
pressure.
already cited as website. Talagang ang internet kailangang i-friend mo. Ang internet. Ngayong panahon na to. Why? Because you can get a lot of information, but make sure that you filter the information that you get because there are some information there na medyo misleading. So, dapat alam din natin kung tama or mali yung information na kukunin natin. Okay? The next one is the hybrid computer. Okay, combines the desirable features of analog and digital computers. It is mostly used for automatic operations of complicated physical process and machines. It has the speed of analog and the accuracy of digital computer. So it is already a combination.
Yes, Ma'am Cathy. And kanina nabanggit natin kanina yung pitik.
Yes, yan ba yung itsura niya, ma'am?
Okay, yan yung
Yan na
pitik.
pala yun.
Imaginein mo. Okay.
Diyos ko, baka pag nakakuha tayo dyan, mapagkakamalan natin siyang.
Flash drive.
It's really a flash drive. USB type.
Sa bagay, hindi. Of course, our students are very aware. Our learners are very aware of the
you know it already.
Flash drive.
Yes.
So, tingnan, baka mamaya magpunta tayo sa foreign land o kaya sa pagdating after 5 years, ganon baka mas mura na ang presyo niyan, tapos yan na ang mas common. Okay, so kung nakikita nyo, pregnancy test siya, pero meron siyang USB drive, may USB port siya. Tapos yun sa kabila, yun yung system na mababasa sa computer.
Okay. Itong nasa babang picture, which is very familiar, very common to us now because anywhere you go nowadays, ginaganyan ka, binabaril ka. Di ba, Ma'am Ryan?
Yes, ma'am.
Oo,
So that
parang-
is a hybrid thermometer.
Yes.
Dati kasi nung bata tayo, ma'am, iipit
Dito
sa
lang.
kilikili.
Oo. Tapos ayaw nung bata, gumalaw-galaw. So, nag-iba yung temperature niya kasi natanggal, ganyan. O kaya naipit nung damit.
Yes, ma'am. Tapos
Tama?
napalitan niya ng kahit hawakan na lang.
yung meron din yung sa...
Okay, ilalapit na lang,
Oo.
didikit na lang sa pisngi.
Ito, aside from this, meron pa tayong naka-stand, di ba? Yung merong alcohol na ginaganon lang din. Yung iba, yung noo, yung tinatapat talagang ginaganon. But actually, you can put anything, kahit yung kamay mo lang na ganyan, madidetect niya yung temperature.
Nabiktima ka rin ba nun, Ma'am Cathy?
O yung iba kasi, they do this, ganyan. Pagpunta nila ganyan.
Ako, Ma'am Cathy, na ganun ako.
Ako-
Nagpapabaril ako ng ganyan ng temperature. Sabi sa akin, no, Ma'am, pwede pong yung kamay na lang.
Ako ganun lang.
Ako kasi
Okay.
dati talagang yung aking malapad na noo ay talagang
Ang
nilalapit
tinatapat
ko.
mo.
Oo.
Yung pala pwede. Meron
Para
pa
mas
ako nakita-
accurate ka ako.
Meron pa nga iba ganyan lang. O, di ba parang sumasangga lang sila ng bala.
Okay. So,
So,
yun, ang mga hybrid computers. So, marami pa siguro kayong ma-identify dyan na baka mga gamit ninyo sa bahay. Imagine mo, thermometer pala, computer.
Yes, oo. Yung ngayon na, yung mga ganyan yan. Okay.
Okay, next, we are going to identify the types of computer based on configurations, size and capability. So under this, we have supercomputers, mainframe computers, mini computers, servers, and microcomputers.
So, familiar na kayo dito mga students. Indipan lang natin ano ba yung mga yan. So, supercomputers, ano ba ang gamit ng supercomputers, ma'am?
Okay, so supercomputer is the largest and the most powerful among computers. Okay, so it is the most expensive because it is custom-made for the needs of the governments and international groups and companies. Saan ba siya ginagamit, Ma'am Cathy?
So, ito yung mga big companies or mga government agencies wherein they really need to get a data from the whole Philippines, halimbawa, mga ganun. So, supercomputers ang ginagamit nila. Like, for example, sa weather forecasting.
Ayan, yung pag-check ng nuclear energy, yung paghahanap nila ng langis, and because of that, ayan, kung titignan ninyo yung picture, kaya kung titignan ninyo ang ating pictures, we have the fastest supercomputer.
Okay,
Ito
kung
po yung
titingnan mo, Ma'am
pinakamabilis.
Ryan, yung picture, para lang siyang cabinet, di ba? Pero those cabinet-like na nandyan is computer and they are connected to one another. They are connected to one another. So, pag tinitingnan mo, parang yung cabinet lang natin sa science lab, di ba, pinaglalagyan natin ng mga ano, or pag tinitingnan mo, parang yung ginaganong-ganon lang sa sound system. But actually, every tool or every button there, meron siyang gamit. So, hindi natin siya pwedeng basta galawin. Only supercomputers are used by people who are really good or meron lang silang specific na trabaho. Okay, hindi siya common, hindi siya ginagamit ng mga ordinaryong tao.
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, kapag tinatawag natin supercomputer, it is being housed by a building. Kaya nga nang sabi mo, Ma'am Cathy, hindi pwedeng isang tao lang mag-operate yan. So, it composes of a team. So, para magkaroon sila ng idea, okay, ito yung mga other examples. We have the grape. Ayan. Which is used for gravitational computation. So, imagine mo, yung gravitational computations lang ang kanyang...
Pag titignan mo lang siya, para siyang microwave, parang oven.
Parang washing machine.
Yeah, parang washing machine.
Parang
But it is
oven.
already a computer. Okay, next, ma'am.
We also have a research machine, okay, which is called Sierra. So, yung sa Sierra, that is a close-up look of the different ICs. So, it consists of a cable. Imagine mo yung cable na yan, nilalagyan ma'am yan ng tubig. Bakit? Para hindi siya masyadong uminit. Kasi, syempre, ang mga big companies niya, ng government ang gumamit ng mga yan, composes of a lot or massive data and information. So, hindi naman nila basta-basta pwedeng patayin ang computer system.
Because
So,
they have to
kailangan
get data
continuously.
Yes.
Okay. We have
Anton, used for studying molecular dynamics.
Ayan, sa
Molecules, sa science
sa
na
science
ito.
nila na-apply yan
Oo.
in the area of medicine.
Ang laki yan, no?
Pare-parehas tayo na hindi pa nakakita
Yes,
actually ng
salamat
supercomputer.
kay paring Google kasi
least,
everything is ready. Okay.
Kahit picture at videos lang, di ba?
Meron na tayong idea.
Samantalang tayo nung tayo nag-aaral ni picture, no?
Just an imagination.
Okay, basta ini-imagine lang namin nun, supercomputer.
Dinescribe lang and then, yes.
Kailangan yung
but
computer na yun
nowadays,
nasa building.
yes, but nowadays there is already given pictures, given examples because internet is already available kahit nasaan ka.
Okay.
Okay, next.
So, ayan pa, si
Ay, dami
Kraken.
din niya.
So, that is an example of a Cray XT5 supercomputer founded by the National Science Foundation.
Okay,
so, parang mga cabinets lang talaga, no? Okay, it composes of different integrated circuits. So, sa loob niyan,
And
mga
they are
anak,
connected to one another.
sa loob, mga anak, yan ay puro wires at saka puro chips, puro CPU or
IC,
central
yeah.
processing unit. Okay, so next we have
the mainframe computer, a large computer that can process data at a very high rate of speed. It is mainly used by big businesses and companies to process and compute large amount of data and handle millions of transactions. Okay, so parang cabinet lang siya ulit, but actually, there is a purpose of this, a specific purpose, for example, is yung pag-handle ng million of transactions.
Yes, sa karamihan sa mga airport, sa ganyan, sa mga economic
yung mga nakikita natin sa TV na may mga meron silang mga television wherein they can see the updates every now and then. They are using this kind of computers.
Okay, so ito pa. Mainframe computer is a large-size central computer. So it process power and storage capacity is very high. That computer operate critical application, transaction, bulk data processes, and etc. So pagka binuksan siya, ayan. Actually, a lot of computers are being connected to the mainframe computers.
So it's a big one. It's a big one because it serves a lot.
Yes. Kumbaga, kino-connect doon. Actually, ang mga yan, yung mga nakikita nyo maliliit na laptop, that is actually a representation of the different servers being connected to the mainframe computer. And server is, matatakan natin mamaya, server is also another powerful computer. Okay, so ito naman.
Mini computer. Mini, gano'n ka ba kaliit?
Ayan,
Kasi pag sinabing mini, di ba, means small. Another type of multi-use machine that is smaller, less expensive and less powerful than mainframe. This is used in mid-range businesses and companies for their processing needs. Mini computers have been replaced by network servers which can also do multi-user and related applications.
Ayan, malaki
Lumit na siya, pero malaki pa rin siya.
Yes. Actually, noong kami ay nag-aaral, mga anak, huwag na nating pahalatang edad nila, ma'am. Noon, kasama ang desktop computer sa kino-consider na mini computer. Kaya lang, there has been changes in the technology.
Development.
Kasi nga, ang desktop computer, mas less ang kanyang capability with the mini computer.
And the
pero
size
ngayon, ma'am, yes.
before,
Pero yung ngayon, magkatumbas na si mini computer at saka si microcomputer in terms of power. Kaya lang, in terms of portability, magkaiba na sila. Kaya lumabas si microcomputer. Okay. So, we also have
the server. So, server provides services to another computer program and its user, also known as the client. It is powerful than normal computers. Server hardware also differs from desktop hardware in terms of its form factor. Okay, as you can see in the picture, there is the server, the black one, and then it's served for clients. Okay, so yung server, pwedeng siya yung merong pinaka-main data and they just get sinusupply niya sa kanyang mga client. Diba, ma'am?
Yes, ang karamihan ng mga yan, if you can imagine ATM machines,
Yes,
these
yung mga
ATM
banks.
machines, nakakonect siya sa server doon sa main bank para whatever the transaction is,
Yes.
being recorded lahat doon sa server.
Meron-
Kahit sa ibang lugar ka magpunta, at kahit anong computer ang gamit mo.
Meron siyang server.
Okay.
Kumbaga, sa atin, for example, meron tayong database sa, merong server, halimbawa sa GSIS, ma'am, di ba? Or sa SSS, for example. I'm going to mention a government agency. Kasi ang SSS, di ba, kahit saan tayo pumunta, pwede tayong mag-apply, pwede tayong mag-update because our name is already in their server wherein it is connected to other branches. So, kahit saan tayo magtanong, kahit ako ay nasa Manila ni SSS, if I will ask about my SSS, they can provide me information, they can provide me answer because yung
computer nila
is connected to the server na pag nagtanong ulit ako sa kawayan, they have the same answer kasi nga kinuha nila lahat sa server.
Yes.
Tama, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Kagaya nga ng nabanggit natin kanina sa mga bangko. Noong araw, if you have an account to a certain bank, doon ka lang pwedeng, doon lang sa branch, doon lang sa...
And it's only over the counter.
Doon lang sa company, sa mismong bangko na yon. Magpunta ka ng ibang town, kahit na may kaparehas na bank, noong araw to ha, ma'am, halimbawa,
Siyempre,
Philippine
inabutan natin
National
yan.
Bank. Inabutan kasi namin. Halimbawa, kapag nag-open ka sa Philippine National Bank, Aurora branch, halimbawa.
Doon ka lang.
Doon ka lang pwedeng mag-deposit. Doon ka lang pwedeng
And
mag-withdraw.
you only have one bank book, kumbaga.
Yes. Nung
Yun
hindi pa capable ang mga different banks in having their own server. Pero ngayon, kahit saang branch, pwede kang mag-withdraw.
Kahit saang bangko.
Saang bangko, pwede kang mag-check ng inquiry.
Yes.
So another example, mama, imagine yung ATM natin sa land bank. Oh, 'di ba? Ginagawa na rin natin siyang cash card.
Yes.
Pwede kang magpunta sa supermarket tapos tanungin mo kung may balance pa.
Yes, ma'am. So, if for example, we do that, automatic pa rin in our account in the land bank, automatic pa rin na-update ang land bank because they have one server connected to different banks.
Yes.
And every time you withdraw or every time you deposit, automatic your account will be updated.
Isa kasi sa main purpose ng server, ma'am, kaya siya na-develop is for the real-time transaction. So,
Yes.
on the spot, kung ano yung ginawa mo on the spot, that will surely be recorded. So, yun po yun.
And it is a big help. Okay?
Next is microcomputer. Ayan. Which is probably the most popular kind of computers, kung saan na-invento na ngayon yung microprocessor, single chip or the CPU, which is much cheaper computers.
Cheaper, what's this? Mas madaling portable. Tama?
Bukod sa portable siya, talagang can afford na
Yes,
tayo.
affordable.
Kasi yung supercomputers,
Siyempre, we cannot afford it.
nobody can just afford it ng
Ganun lang.
ganun lang.
Yes.
Unless talagang super yaman mo, pwede kang magkaroon ng access. Sa mga movies, isang example ng may access doon is si Kwan. Sino na yun? Yung may suit?
Superman?
Hindi yung robot. Nakalimutan kong bigla. Sino na yung robot? Yung...
Mamaya, babalik tayo dyan. Okay, example of microcomputers are the desktop computers, laptop, notebook computers, tablet computers, smartphones, PDA computers, game consoles, modern TVs, wearable computers. Ang dami nating example ng microcomputers and some of these are already existing in our house. Meron tayong, yung iba kanya-kanya na, di ba? So, hindi mo na pwedeng sabihin na wala ka kasi halos lahat tayo ay meron na. So, this is the most popular computer system, also known as personal computers or simply PCs. They are usually easier to use, upgrade, and more affordable. PCs are normally intended for individual users for their word, processing, and other small application requirements. Okay, yung nakikita ninyong picture dyan, students, that is an example of desktop computer.
Naalala ko na, ma'am, si Iron Man. Mamaya, nagkaroon tayo ng...
Thank you, sir. Okay. Okay, so...
Saglit lang, mayroon tayong technical difficulties.
Okay, so yung nakita ninyo kaninang picture, that is an example of desktop computers. Okay. Next, Ma'am Ryan. Laptop computers. Okay, ang ganda ng laptop sa kabilang. Ang ganda ng picture ng laptop. So, everybody is already familiar with laptop because this is laptop. They call it laptop because you are using it. You can use it on your laptop. Okay. So, portable computer siya. Lightweight computers with 18 screens.
Sometimes it is also called as notebook or netbook computers because of their small size and design, like a stylish briefcase. Okay, so these microcomputers are more expensive than desktop computers because in which various small sizes of components are inbuilt. So, yung desktop computers, FYI ha, yung desktop computers, mas madali siyang i-upgrade kumpara sa laptop computers. Ang laptop computers, hindi po siya basta-basta na i-upgrade. Okay.
Yung mga parts niya.
Yes,
Why? Kasi this one is very sensitive since the different parts is so small, tiny inside the laptop.
Yung availability pa
and
ng
the
mga
availability,
pyesa.
of course.
Okay,
Yes.
so its main advantage is portability.
Because you can use it anywhere. Meron siyang naka-charge na, kumbaga may battery siya, di ba? Unlike with the desktop wherein kailangan nakasaksak siya.
Pero kung minsan, tinatawag na lang natin desktop ang ating laptop kapag...
Kasi parang yung battery niya.
Kapag laging lumang-luma ng yung computer at bumigay ang kanyang battery, kung minsan, makukonsider mo na siya desktop kapag nasira yung battery niya.
Oo, kasi nakasaksak na lang siya. Okay.
Pero may mga nabibili namang mga battery.
Yes.
Okay. Next, we also have the smartphone. Okay. A smartphone is a touchscreen mobile phone that is capable to perform various advanced functions similar to computers such as installs, operating system, download different applications, accessibility to internet, and more activities.
Yes. Actually, yung ibang students natin, they are already doing their activities in their
Using their
smartphones.
cellphone.
Yes. So, yung smartphones talaga siya kasi nga you can use it. Kaya siya tinawag yung smartphone because you can use it. Same with the laptop. Same with the computer. Kasi meron na rin siyang mga offices. May internet connection na siya.
Actually, kung minsan ma'am, mas wise pa ngayon na bumili ka ng smartphone kaysa bumili ng laptop. Kasi nga, yan, madidiscuss natin mamaya kung bakit mas ina-advise pa natin. Minsan nga may nag-message sa aking parent. Sabi niya, ma'am, bakit sinasabi ng anak ko na kabibili ko lang po ng computer niya, pero hindi naman daw po magamit doon sa lesson ninyo. So, dear parents, makinig po kayo ngayon kasi i-explain na naman po namin kung bakit kung minsan mas okay pa na bilhan na lang ng smartphone ng ating anak kesa sa laptops or desktop. Depende kasi sa budget.
And depende rin siyempre sa pangangailangan.
Yes, depende rin sa pangangailangan ng anak ninyo. Kaya dapat talagang ma-enlighten ang lahat dito. Not only parents, but also students so that you can explain to your parents na, ma, wag mo muna akong bibilhan ng ganito. Mas okay po yung ganito. Minsan kasi, isipin ng parent, bakit mas pinipili ang cellphone kaysa laptop? Ayan, kasi nagkakaroon ng misconception, it's because baka hindi tama yung explanation. So, mamaya mas maliliwanagan sila. Okay, we also have
personal digital assistant. It is a handheld device with great portability as well as smaller in size similar to tablet, palm top, and smartphone. PDA is able to make communication with other computers like laptops, desktop, and other through Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, radio beams, infrared, radio waves, and LAN cable. commonly used for maintaining the record to appointment calendars, to-do list, take down notes, and address books.
Ayan, kung titignan natin yung itsura, para siyang tablet.
Yes,
Para rin
para-
siyang cellphone. Minsan, yung isa nga, itong isang type na pinapakita natin dyan,
It's already a mobile smartphone. Yeah. Digital,
mukha siyang
yes.
digital smartphone. So,
Okay.
ayan. Kaya lang ito kasi, it is, mas lesser capability yung kanyang gagawin. Okay? Kasi nga, ang purpose
Though meron
niya
siyang,
is assistant
meron
siya.
siyang
Hindi.
nagagawa ng computer, but
Yes.
not all.
Ng other computer, but
Okay.
not all. Kumbaga,
Not all.
it specializes on something.
Yes.
Okay. So, kagaya nito, game consoles.
O kagaya niyan, that is only for games. That is
Yes.
just for entertainment.
Okay.
But that is considered
A computer.
A microcomputer.
Okay. It is a special kind of computer primarily used for playing video games.
Di ba, ang galing nga, yung ibang games kasi, before tayo, we are just yung pressing lang na ganyan, na sinushoot yung may water, may ring, sinushoot
Rubrics
sa
lang,
kabila.
Tetris lang sa atin,
Tapos meron ding Tetris, pero hindi lahat nun ay may Tetris because it's really expensive. But nowadays, if you look at the different pictures here, ito na yung mga kakaiba.
Yung Tetris ngayon, hindi na nila pinapansin. Samantalang ng mga elementary high school tayo, talagang
Yes.
pag may ganun ka, anak ka ng medyo may kaya.
Ngayon, wala na, hindi na siya.
Oo.
Ngayon,
Ayaw
yung mga
tanggapin
game
ng ibang
consoles na
bata
yan,
yan ngayon.
yes, yung mga game consoles na yan, you can play anything, you'll just download it, or meron silang mga tinatawag na parang mga bala ba tawag doon, or meron silang mga mag-i-install ka.
May software na talaga.
May software na siyang gamit.
For multiple
Yeah.
games.
Na-try kong maglaro yung, sabi ko, bakit sila naglalaro ng ganyan before? But now, meron akong na-try, naglaro ako ng badminton, pero yung TV yung kalaro ko.
Yes.
So, I'm just playing like this. Pero
Visual
yung bola,
aids.
pero yung bola is, it follows on my hand. Kung ano yung movement ng hand. So, ang galing, di ba?
Oh, ma'am, pag pumasok ka nga sa mga malls, yung pag gagaling ka pang magsayaw kasi yung mga dance steps,
Yes.
yung nais ka na ganun. So, those
Yes.
are game consoles.
Game consoles.
Okay, so it is a device that outputs a video signal or visual image to display a video game that one or more people can play.
Yes. Bumilib talaga ako dun sa, sabi ko, ang galing. They can detect the movement of the...
Yung sa may sayaw naman ako bilib na bilib, ma'am.
Yung-
Tuturuan ka ng movements.
Yes, and then may
Tapos
score ka.
may papanoorin kang ganyan, tapos pag tataas niya yung kamay niya, dapat itaas mo rin yung kamay
Yes, they can
mo.
detect it.
Okay.
Tama?
Opo.
Those are example of game consoles. Those are also computerized because hindi mo na masabing hindi siya computerized kasi nadidetect niya lahat yung movement.
May sensor siya,
Yes.
may system siya, may hardware siya. Sabi nga natin kanina
May
sa
may
definition na
software
binigay, as long as it accepts data, it processes this data, it does something to this particular data, and
and produces outputs.
it is already a computer
Yes.
system. So, ayan, meron din tayong tinatawag na
Modern television.
televisions.
Yes, dati meron tayong tinatawag na pag bumili ka ng TV dati, ang tatanungin mo lang is the smart TV, ganon. Pero
Digital
ngayon,
TV.
meron silang bago, yung, ano na yun?
Yung smart TV, ma'am, tatanungin ka nila, ma'am, anong klaseng smart TV?
No, hindi na siya smart TV ngayon. Ang mas bago na ngayon is the Android TV.
Yes. Kasi
Yes.
yung dati kasi, dati nun, kapag naka-flat screen ka, social ka na.
Oo.
Pero
Tapos
ngayon,
nag-upgrade siya. Pag medyo malaki nun, pag naka-32 ka, wow, ang laki ng TV. And then, biglang nabago.
Kasi ngayon,
Naging
ma'am,
panipis ng panipis. Tapos ngayon, tawag dito, mas madali nang kumonek sa internet. Yun naman yung bagong feature ng Android TV. Mas madali siyang kumonek sa internet. Pwede kang mag-download ng application, pwede kang mag-download ng iyong games sa TV na yon.
diba, bongga.
Oo,
Samantalang
ang ganda.
tayo nun, ang mga TV natin is mga analog type, yung may picture tube, yung malaki.
Meron CRT.
Oo,
Yes.
naka-CRT siya.
Oo, meron siyang likod. Pero ngayon,
Flat na.
Flat
Sexy na ngayon, slim na slim, pati
Yes.
hardware. Kasi nga, number one na tinitingnan kapag ka nagde-develop ng hardware is the portability. Sabi nga nila, kailangan din space saver. Okay. So we also have wearable computers. Ayan, naalala ko si Iron Man. Kasi mga
Wearable
ginamit ni
computer.
Iron Man, ma'am, dun sa movie, those are actually wearable computer.
Yes.
So, kilala
Kasi
niyo
na-digitect
si...
niya, di ba? Yung mga, ano mga sample dyan, yung mga relo.
Yes.
The relo that is, it can detect your blood pressure, how many steps you already, di ba? Meron yan mga wearable computers.
Yes. Pati yung yung shade na yan. Actually, yung shade mismo, that is already a monitor. So, mag-flash nag-i-scan na. Meron yung mga scanner na mga shade. Ayan. Meron din tayong oximeter. Ma'am, yung bago ngayon, yung sa mga clinics.
Yes.
Kung minsan, kahit sa mga bahay, lalo kapag may pasyente tayo. Sabi nung nurse, kailangan mag-appear doon, iipit sa daliri, tapos pag daw umabot ng 99 pataas, okay, safe pa yung person sa oxygen level. Pero pag below 99, kailangan na siyang bantayan.
Yes, bumaba na oxygen level.
Pagka nag-below pa siya ng 60, that is delikado, kailangan siyang
So that means
mag-oxygen.
meron na siyang mag-oxygen.
Kailangan siyang gumamit ng oxygen.
That is one very useful gamit ngayon sa mga bahay. Kasi kailangan yan. Kasi di ba, because of the pandemic, because of the COVID, di ba? Yung iba, they really buy something na madaling ma-detect.
Okay, so wearable computers are small technology device which are capable of storing and processing data that will be worn on the body. These are designed for accessibility and convenience as well as improvements to workplaces by making information rapidly and readily available to the wearer. Lalo ngayon sa mga may physically challenged na mga tao tayo. Mga bulag ngayon, pwede na silang magbasa through scanners. Ayan, yung may sinusot yun, tapos tatapat lang na gano'n. Pwede na
They can read. Okay.
Magbi-visual na siya. May mga sensors. Meron pa nga, ma'am, dinidevelop sa Japan ngayon. Isa sa project ng Japan na inaabangan natin ngayon, probably daw by 2022, ipalalabas nila. Nag-provide sila ng, on research nila ngayon, nag-provide sila ng cafe na ang nagsiserve ay robot, pero ang kumokontrol sa robot ay mga paralyzed people sa isang hospital. O, di ba? Imagine mo, paralyzed ka na, pero binibigyan ka ng opportunity na magkaroon ng trabaho to become independent. So, ganun sila ka-high-tech. Sana all. So, sana tuloy-tuloy yun. Okay, so next topic is the different factors
to consider when planning a personal computer at home. So the first one is the cost, of course. The cost is always important. Bibili ako ng computer, pang magkano? O, diba? That is always the question. Pag mabili mo ako ng computer, your mother will ask you, how much is computer?
Okay, so depende na naman po yan. Of course, tatandaan natin, mas mataas ang kanilang presyo. Of course, expect something better. Siyempre, mas mababa ang presyo. Expect something na lesser ang kanyang kakayahang gawin compared dun sa iba.
We are talking about computers here.
So, the first step in planning your new PC is to set a budget. So, you are going to decide how much you can afford to spend on the entire project.
Yes.
So, hanggang saan bang budget ninyo? Ang budget mo ba ay pang cellphone, pang laptop? Okay, kung laptop...
Pang desktop. Anong klaseng laptop? Okay. Merong ganun, di ba? Ano bang bibili mong computer? Smartphone ba or laptop? Anong klaseng laptop? Kasi marami rin siyang klase.
And take
you have
note,
to consider.
that cost must also be in collaboration with the intended use. Baka mamaya may plano kang gawin specifically for that computer, tapos hindi mo naman siya mabudgetan ng naaayon dun sa kanyang gamit. So, depende sa magiging gamit niyan. Kaya nga, sabi nga natin, kung minsan nire-recommend na lang natin na cellphone na lang po ang bilhin ninyo kung hindi nyo po kaya yung budget na ganito. So, if you are going to buy a computer, what do you plan on doing with the machine?
Yes.
So, one factor, kung halimbawa gagamitin mo siya for graphics,
medyo dapat mas mataas ang spec na bibilin natin.
Hello sa lahat ng ating grade 8 listeners na gagamit ng mga graphical software ngayon. So, yung mga iba sa inyo, may mga laptop na siguro, pero it doesn't guarantee na meron kang laptop or meron kang desktop ay magagamit mo siya in particular software.
Kasi there are some application softwares
Which
na
requires
nagre-require ng higher spec, di ba?
Yes.
Bago mo sila ma-download. That's why in buying, you have to consider, para saan ba? Bakit ako bibili ng laptop? Para saan ba? Dapat meron kang ganung question, hindi yung, basta bibili ako, bahala na kung ano yung nandun. No.
Ma'am, minsan
You
na
have to.
meron akong kinorek dyan, sabi niya, bakit ka bibili ng laptop? Para daw makapanood.
Wrong.
Wrong. Eh di TV na lang.
Yes.
Or di kahit cellphone na lang, di ba?
Para daw makanood siya sa internet. Why? You can connect your TV in the internet.
Natatandaan po lagi. Okay, so for the intended use, depende dun sa software na kakailanganin mo, dun sa gamit mo na yun, halimbawa sa graphics. Pagka halimbawa mag-edit ka ng mga graphics. Okay, of course, it requires higher specification of hardware, meaning mag-adjust na naman sa cost yan.
Yes.
Pero kung halimbawa ang gamit lang naman, ang gagamitin mo lang naman siya
Na
for
manonood.
typing, halimbawa typing or node lang, of course,
Pwedeng
pwedeng lower specification.
Yes.
Kaya yan ang sinasabi namin sa ating mga
Kasi pag
parents.
sinabi nating spec, we are talking about the storage niya, like the RAM, mga ganyan niya. Yung mga nasa motherboard niya, yung CPU niya, gano'ng kabilis.
Kakayanin ba ng hardware?
Oo,
Kakayanin ba
ganun.
ng CPU, ng random access memory, yung software na kailangan mong gamitin? Okay, tatandaan, the higher the price, of course, more powerful yung ating computer. So, please, do not settle for less. If you have something, if you have a particular purpose for that particular computer, huwag sanang magmamadali. Kasi minsan yung mga iba nagmamadali sila tapos magre-react sila. Bakit daw?
Next is the OS.
Ganon.
So, yung OS, dapat yun na rin pong latest. Kumbaga, meron tayo, ano ba yung last na OS, Ma'am Ryan? Pag sinabi nating OS, ito yung mga Windows. Okay?
Okay, so andyan yung tinatawag nating operating system. We also have the reputation. So in the reputation, so kailangan natin tatandaan. Wala po tayong i-endorse ng mga different brands, but we can do
Research.
research. May mga magazine. Okay, tapos intended na kasama din dyan yung lifespan. Sa lifespan, kailangan po natandaan natin latest hardware.
And of course, the personal preferences, ikaw na rin ang bala kung anong gusto mong brand. Depende sa naririnig mong reputation, you can buy it. And of course, the compatibility ng iyong mga application na kailangan and yung mga paggagamitan mo, is it compatible with the purpose, with your purpose pala. Okay, so grade 10 students, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much. Okay.
It's time for our evaluation. So, tignan lang natin. Okay, so we have here 4 picks, 1 type. So, we are just going to flash 4 pictures and then you are going to identify what type of computer is that. You can chat your message, your answer on the chat box, or you can send it to your teacher. And then, we are going to follow up na lang po kasi we are running out of time.
Okay, this is 6-7 letters na
Okay.
number 1. How about the number 2?
One.
Number 2, ma'am. Number 2, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 letters also. 7 letters.
So, pa-follow up na lang namin ni Ma'am Cathy sa inyong mga TLE teachers. And Sai, antayin na lang namin ang iyong number para maibigay namin ang iyong prize. Okay, so balik na lang tayo ulit bukas. Bukas ba yung balitaktakan na isa pa?
Grade 8 tomorrow.
Okay po. So, goodbye!
Goodbye. Thank you for listening. Thank you so much. See you again next week. Kami ulit ni Ma'am Ryan ng Tuesday.
Ayan.
See you again next week.
Okay.
Thank you so
maraming
much.
salamat.
TLE, Technology and Livelihood Education. TLE, Learning Area, Automotive Servicing, Beauty Care, Electronics Product Assembly and Servicing, Cookery, Electrical Installation and Maintenance, Dressmaking, Computer System Servicing, mga leksyong pangkabuhayan, edukasyong teknolohikal, mapapakinggan Dito lang yan sa 106.3 Dance Radio TLE. Learn and earn.
Nais mong matuto, buksan mo ang iyong radyo. Lahat kami ay narito, tapat sa aming serbisyo. Walang problemang di malalampasan. Magliliwanag ang ating kinabukasan. Dance Radio, silid aralan sa radyo. Hatid namin makabagong paraan ng pagtuturo. Kahit saan at kahit kailan, hindi ka iiwanan. Hatid namin bagong kaalaman. Edukasyo'y susulong, basta't magtulong-tulong. Sulong edukalidad. Dance Radio, learning is the name.